Hello, hello. How are you all? What's up, Bryn? How is everyone? I don't know if you can see down here. Here's Poop. Poop's snoring because she's bored off her balls. Well, I mean, she doesn't have balls, but you know what I'm saying. How is everyone on this fabulous New Year's Eve? Yes. Wait, what? Can I ask you a question? Of course you can ask me a question. That's why I'm here. That's the whole point. You can ask me anything. I love your videos. I watch them all the time. They help me a lot. Well, thank you so much. That was very nice. Yes, Tori. We're here. We're live. All right. About a half hour ago, I literally thought, I wonder if Kim will do a live even though it's New Year's. Look at you being a master manifester. Look at you. Instant reflection. Yeah, my SP worked. Well, today was a normal work day. So that means he gets home around, like, say, 2 p.m. because he works about an hour and a half away. So he's taking a pre-gaming nap so that we can watch the ball. And so we're staying home for New Year's Eve. So he's napping right now. I'm like, well, I might as well go live. Why can't we just affirm someone away and just say they don't exist or they don't work here? Okay. In a sense, it's not that you can't, all right? Truth be told, you are source, right? You are the God of your reality. Universe, higher power, source, energy, moonbeams, whatever you believe it is, you are that. So in one respect, you can use whatever words you want. However, we experience, right? So the reflection we experience in reality is the reflection of your awareness. So thinking from the perspective of, I just want this person to go away. Just want them to go away. Where's your awareness? It's on that person. So the more we're focusing on that person, there's a pretty good chance that person is staying in your awareness. But I will not say that it's impossible that affirmation could never work. No, that would completely rely on your true belief. So if you've watched my content enough, or if you hung around any one of my channels, meaning what platform, you know I stay open. I'm not a closed-minded person. As far as from the place of, I believe that we are source. I do believe we are God, universe, whatever. But I don't believe that there is only one true way to manifest. So because we are God experiencing ourselves as this person or this being, so as in Kimberly. Thank you. You guys, thank you. I see the little gifts coming in the hearts. So it's Kimberly. From there, Kimberly is housed in a state with beliefs, in a sense, right? I'm not going to tell you that it's impossible to create the belief that you can just use that affirmation and that person will go away. I won't tell you that won't work, because that will all depend on your own personal belief. So if you create the belief that saying, that affirmation is enough, then it will be enough. Now, let's say you came to me with a question about, just getting someone to go away. Like, I don't like my boss anymore. We want my boss to get the hell out of here and go work somewhere else or for a different department. And let's say you came to me and just asked me that and didn't preface it with the question about what affirmation to use. I would have answered your question by saying, don't affirm, let that person goes away. I would tell you to the best thing you do is get your focus off of that person. So that would have been my go-to answer. But again, this is all about what state you're in. And because there are infinite states, infinite you, there's definitely a version of you that believes that is enough to use that affirmation and it will work. And it will work because you are source. I hope I just didn't confuse you further. I hope that made sense. Hi, Lexus. Happy New Year to you too, Kim. You must be fabulous. If your name's Kim, you've got to be fabulous. How's the house manifestation going? It's going well. See, when I get this question, that means I have to admit my own flaw, which is I am fucking picky. I am fucking picky. And like in one way, I really knew I was always picky, but I didn't realize to what level I was picky until the house thing. All right, in 1 minute, I decide this is the house I want. I want A, B, and C. This is what I want. And then it shows up. And then I change my mind again, and I want something different. And then the something different house pops up. And it will always be for the price I want it to be. And I will change my mind again. And I am embarrassed to tell you how many times I've done that. And it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So the manifestation, yeah, it's fucking fabulous. Me making my final decision and just going with it, terrible. Terrible. The curse of being indecisive. Fully get it. Yes. I don't want to claim that for myself anymore. I don't want to claim that. I am not that version of myself anymore. A good way to get to know what you really want, right? I like how you just put a positive spin on that. Thank you. Again, how do you affirm even if you're very fearful? I'm an anxious mess. Why are you an anxious mess? Please don't call yourself that ever again. Don't you label yourself as No, you're not. No, you're not. Not anymore, you're not. Do you know who you really are? Do you know that you're pure, unadulterated consciousness? Choosing to be you, and from there choosing a version of you? Do you know that? So what are you afraid of? Thoughts? Like certain thoughts manifesting? You don't have to be afraid of your thoughts. Thoughts are just options. They're options to other versions of self or other realities. But you don't have to be afraid. Your source. Your source. And listen, if you were anything like me, I was just talking about this today. If you're anything like I used to be, like when I first really found, we'll say, law of assumption manifestation, and I came into the understanding that, everybody says it. Yeah, you're God of your reality. Okay, so fucking what? How do I get what I want? That was me. So I would totally skip over the most important part of understanding that you are the source. You're the everything. Right? You're the universe. You're it all. Experiencing reality through this. And when I say this, I mean whatever your name is. I would always skip that and think that that was the unimportant thing. And I would want someone to just hurry up and give me an answer how to get my specific person. Because that was my main thing, that and money. How do I get my specific person? I don't care. Okay, yeah. I'm God. I'm universe. Now, how do I get what I want? Not realizing, well, that's how to get what you want, is knowing you are that. Knowing that you never have to be afraid of your thoughts ever again. Knowing that when you think you're an anxious mess, no, you're experiencing a habit. You're experiencing an old story about yourself. And maybe it was a habit of your old self to be afraid of thoughts or be afraid of certain things manifesting. And maybe it's because you even gave this a shot, manifestation, you gave it a shot. And maybe you heard someone, oh, thank you. Maybe you tried to not be afraid of your thoughts and it burned you, and what you were afraid of manifested anyway. Maybe you've had that experience. I know there's people out there who have had that experience. What I can say to you is you probably, at that time, number one, there's a probable good chance that you probably put a whole hell of a lot of importance on the fear versus the outcome you really wanted. Number two, that probably your perception of that terrible thing that we didn't want to manifest, your perception of it is from a limited, logical, rational side of yourself, and not understanding that that yucky thing is still leading you to your outcome. Even if it looks like it's impossible, it's still leading you because it has to, because you're source. It's not optional, right? This doesn't misfire. And this doesn't half work. It doesn't half manifest. There are no such things as half manifestations or partial manifestations. That's not a thing. If it's not the fulfillment of exactly what you're wanting, then you're just not perceiving it as being here yet. That's all. It's not because it didn't work, and it's not because you can't have it. It's never that answer. I'm sorry if you can hear her snoring and it's overtaking my voice. I apologize, but she kind of doesn't give a shit. She's not going to wake up and not be loud. She's the queen of this house, and she knows it. Hi, Mayhem Beauty. How are you? I miss him, but he didn't even congratulate me to my birthday and New Year's. Is this your SP? You're talking about your SP, my friend? Can you talk about when they come back and leave again? Oh, yeah, I'm a professional there. Bridge or need to do more? Okay. Yes, bridge, in a sense. And need to do more? No, we need to drop that mentality. Why do I consider myself the professional of that category? Because, hi, I manifested 2 breakups, or 2 solo vacations, as I like to call them. Yeah, that totally happened. In my early days, when I was manifesting, let me reword. When I was first really focusing on manifesting my SP, that was, what I was talking from earlier when I said, I got it. I don't care. How do I get my SP? That's the time frame I'm referring to. That's who I was. And I would pretty much do nothing but stare at my 3D and lose my mind if I wasn't getting what I wanted in that category, or pretty much every category, let's be honest. I was a triggered bitch. But I also I didn't understand states of consciousness, so I didn't really understand that I was in a victim state. But the moment I figured that out, when I had that download, changed my life. So when SPs manifest in, when they are back, it is so important to not forget who you are. Now, if you were like me, you manifested your SP back. I did the same. But I didn't detach from reality. I didn't. I would stay triggered. I would still, my whole day would be wrapped around if I got my morning text message from him or not. And if I didn't get it, that automatically meant he didn't love me. That's the meaning I would give it. Okay? So that's why I don't judge anybody manifesting their SPs, because I know what it feels like. I know the pain. I know it. But it doesn't have to be painful. It's only painful because you're perceiving and viewing reality from a limited version of yourself. You're not limited. You're limitless. So when you want your specific person to come back and stay, remember that all of this is all about you. It's all about you. It has nothing to do with them. Let me reword. The only part that has to do with them is what you personally believe about them. Like what you believe their personality is, what you expect from them, good and bad. So other than those 2 points, they're irrelevant. The rest is all about you. So when you're interacting with them and you're perceiving them as, well, They're still acting like a bastard. They're not showing up nice. So, or if you're with a girl, she's still acting like a bitch. Nothing's changing. Oh, nope. We're carrying on a story. And that's all it is a story. It's a story of how we believe they are. And you have to ask yourself, is it because you have a story still about yourself when it comes to love? Do you expect love to fail you? Do you expect love to leave you, abandon you? Do you believe you are more than enough for love? And I will tell you, asking those questions, there's probably a great chance that you're really not of the understanding that you really are the God of your reality, that you really, really are. And I bring that up because without really understanding that, you're kind of like a loose leaf on a tree getting thrown all over the place. But if you understand truly that you are the God of your reality, you begin to fear, I'm going to say almost nothing, because you still got that human side of you. You're still here having the human experience, but you will become stronger and stronger and stronger in your decision to be who you are choosing to be. And that's the thing. When you want to be in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with your specific person, that's who your identity should be. That's where your awareness should be focused on, is you being that person. And they don't have to be in the picture. So let's say someone out there, you're manifesting SP, and right now you are in no contact. You don't need to be in contact to start identifying as being this new version of yourself, the version of you in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. You don't need to actually have the contact to do it. So don't mistake that. So the more you're focusing and identifying as being the you in the relationship, the more 3D is going to reflect. And of course, that reflection is going to include your specific person. But if you have had previous experiences with your specific person that aren't favorable and don't feel good, you got to drop those stories. You got to let them go. And for as much as, again, if you were anything like my old self, it can be hard. It can feel hard. Let me word it like that. It can feel hard to let them go. Because in one respect, it feels like you're letting them get away with being turds. Maybe they hurt your feelings in the past. So there's that part of you that wants to still protect your heart, but you still want them back, but you're afraid of being hurt again. Nope, you're not operating as source. You're operating as a wounded version of yourself. This is what I mean. You need to know who you are first as God, universe, source, whatever wording you like. Need to know yourself as that first. Then make a decision of who you are going to identify as, where your awareness is. And detachment is your best friend. So even if SP is back in the picture with you, detachment is still your best friend. You do not let 3D reality dictate to you who you are. Letting reality be the decision maker over who you are or who you think you are is no different than not knowing anything about manifesting and going right back to your old ways of life. It's the same thing. Because this is where you begin to detach from relying on your 5 senses. You're learning to trust your inner self as source. You're learning to trust your imagination. You're learning to trust who you really are. And I'm telling you, once that trust is there, and again, you don't need the trust to manifest, so don't mistake what I'm saying. But once it's there, once you realize, holy shit, I really am God. I really am source. I really am. And by the way, you can test it. Test it. Say, show me I'm source. Give me something, some evidence. Don't try to decide what the evidence is, though. Don't be specific with, oh, you must show me this. No. Show me something clear as day so that I know that I really am creating this. I'm telling you, something will show up. Something will happen. And you'll get your evidence. And that should hopefully begin your journey to trust that you are that source. And you don't need anybody else to be in the middle to connect you with that source either, right? You don't need anybody else's anything. You just need yourself. So remember, it's knowing who you are as source, and then which version of this character are you playing? Which version of self are you deciding to be? You want to be in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship? Those are my words. You don't have to use those words. If that's what you want to be in, then that's who the new character is. That's the new avatar. One of the girls in my channel membership on YouTube used the example today of like a t-shirt. Which t-shirt you putting on today? Because the old t-shirts from our old self, our old victim selves, they don't fit anymore. And they're all ratty and nasty. We're not going to pick up those old junky t-shirts. We got all brand new t-shirts. And we're putting those on. So the version of us who's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. And our eyes, and I mean our awareness eyes, are only focused on who we want to be. Not on the 3D evidence, because that evidence will come. You won't have to go searching for it. And your person will come back and stay. Talking from experience, just saying. Yes, signs follow, they don't precede. Yes, thank you very much, Neville Goddard. Yes, very true. And to anybody that doesn't understand what she's saying, signs follow, they don't precede. It's because creation is finished and all time is now. Right now, in this present moment, all times, past, present, future, is now. So whatever it is you're manifesting, you already have it. Now, I know your logical minds are like, bitch, no, I don't. No, I don't. SP's not sitting here. Yes, you do, or you wouldn't even have the desire. And I know there are other opinions on whether you can manifest a specific person or not. I am telling you, yes, you can. And you're not too much in your ego to want that desire or to want that specific person. And anybody telling you that is speaking from their ego. They're speaking from a limited version of themselves. And remember, there is no gateway to God. There is no gateway to source. You are that. You are that source. Every literal thing on top of that is a condition, is a limit. Everything. Everything you know really is just a limit, a condition. And that doesn't mean it has to be a bad or a negative thing. Everything, good or bad, is a limit and a condition. That's it. You are source experiencing itself. You are source becoming, understanding, knowing that you are source. Coming to know your true self. That's what you are. But you're here to experience joy. And if a part of your joy is to experience manifesting a specific person, that is absolutely no. I get so passionate about this because I can't stand videos that say you can't manifest a specific person. I'm very defensive over it because I know you can, because I've done it. Manifesting a specific person is no fucking different than manifesting a specific vehicle, a specific house, a specific career. It is no different. And anybody that tells you differently is full of shite. Everyone on this planet is the same consciousness, is the same God source that you are. Every manifestation includes another person. It's just so limiting. But see, I have the limited belief, and I own it, that there are people out there who don't think you can manifest a specific person. So of course they pop up on my For You page, but I own it. It is my limited belief. Well, thank you so much. Oh my God, I love your YouTube videos, Kimberly. Thank you so much. It's honestly the determination to make the decision. Bet your ass, Yvonne. Get back to the new self or keep dwelling in it. Yes, yes, yes. Mic drop. Or at minimum, bring yourself back to the present moment. Not on what's happening in 3D, back in the present. Back up here into observer mode, observing the thoughts. Thank you very much. Mayhem Beauty, thank you. Thank you, Marie. Thank you to everybody else sending me things too that I've been chit-chatting through. Purple is your color, Kim. Oh my God, thank you so much, Alicia. You know it's my favorite color. Thank you. It's my favorite. What does the join the team mean? I'm glad you're joining my team. But I don't even know what the team means. I'm not gonna lie. But it does make me feel nice every time I see, oh, joined your team. Blair, immediate follow. Oh my God, immediate new best friend. Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you too, Janet. I'm sorry, every time I see the name Janet, I think of two things. Either, damn it, Janet, I love you, from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, or I think of Janet from Three's Company. That's not a bad thing either way, by the way. That's not me making fun of the name Janet. It's a compliment. Thank you, Mayhem Beauty. Because of your videos and hot seat, my SP came in. Vivi, thank you. Thank you for saying that, but it was you that did it. I appreciate you saying that to me very, very much, and I appreciate the kindness, but you did it. You manifested it. You kicked ass. You made a decision. So congratulate yourself. But thank you for coming in and saying that. I love the Other Life channel. The vlogs are my favorite. Good to watch content. Tori, you and I are new best friends. Boom, done. Thank you. Yeah, if you can handle the sass on the manifestation content, I do have another channel. Not on here, I don't. On YouTube. Kimberly's Other Life. You helped me learn how to quantum leap. You're going to make me cry, Marina. Thank you. Does everybody understand what Marina's talking about? Do you understand that manifestation, deciding to be a version of yourself, is quantum leaping? That's a quantum jump. Every state shift is a quantum jump. We talk about quantum leaping or quantum jumping like it's this big, amazing, celestial event. No, it's you shifting your state. That's a quantum leap. That's a timeline change. It's a reality hop. But it really doesn't physically feel like you're hopping anywhere. You might notice the state shift, but that's quantum leaping. So everyone can do it. And you've been doing it your whole life, just not being aware of it. Let's all manifest this new year. We all quantum jumping into our best ideal timeline. Love it. Yes. Dealing with intense pain in the body. How to manifest a healed body like we created the ill body. Yes, to be honest. Yes, no different. So first of all, I'm sorry that you're feeling pain. The good thing is it doesn't have to stay that way. There are plenty of success stories out there of people healing their bodies with their mind. And just like you said in your question, so you kind of answered yourself in the question, it is the same exact way. I'm sorry, her snores are something serious right now. Just like you have, obviously not because you knew better. So this isn't about blaming yourself, but telling the story of, let's say, acknowledging the pain, identifying with the pain, was you solidifying that version of yourself. And by solidifying, I just mean being in a habit of embodying that version of yourself. That's all I mean, right? But you are every single version of yourself at every given moment. So you already are the healed version of yourself. There is a version of you who is completely pain-free, living her best life or his best life. Right now in this moment, it's real because creation's finished. And if you have the desire to not be in pain, then it's already real. It's already done. You already have access to it. It's telling that story now. So again, I use the sun as an analogy. You are, if we were going to draw a sun like a little kid would, the circle with the sun rays coming out of it, like the lines. So imagine this circle, you, with infinite lines coming out of it, infinite sun rays. We can't even count, there's so many. Those are all the versions of you, but they're all attached to you because they're coming from you. They are you. And you're all of them, all at the same time, which is why we have all different types of thoughts. That's why you don't have to be afraid of your thoughts, by the way. That's why I say they're just options to other versions of you. Just saying. Okay. So, but your awareness eyeball, right? Your awareness can only view or experience one at a time. So we could just word it as your awareness has probably just been in the habit, or at minimum, your dwelling state has been that habitual landing in the self who is aware of being in pain, or in maybe even having like a specific diagnosis of, for the pain. So now it's time to start telling a new story, despite the pain, despite what your senses are telling you. Now, this doesn't mean, like, let's just say maybe 5 minutes before you found the live stream, you were really having a tough time, frustrated, that you don't feel that great. That doesn't mean you've ruined anything or prolonged this. That just means you had a human moment, and those human moments are totally fucking normal. You're here to be human. You're here to experience emotions and feelings. However, despite the fact that maybe your senses are still identifying with the pain, this is where we're going to start detaching from it. Now, that doesn't have to mean you're pretending you don't feel what you feel, right? This isn't about pushing them down, feelings and emotions. We're not doing that. But we are taking the authority of our awareness, of our conscious decision over who we are. We're choosing who we want to be despite what the senses are telling you. So it's not necessarily ignoring, because to me, ignoring is pushing it down. It's acknowledging and accepting that you might feel like shit in this moment, but you're still choosing your new self, the healed version of yourself, the version of you living her best life in every area of her life. You're still consciously choosing her. And you're willing and open to allow yourself to imagine life as being her. So really taking the time each day to think about who she is, the healed version of yourself. That doesn't mean, even if you're hurting in that moment, that doesn't mean you can't acknowledge that you're pain. I cannot stress that. You don't have to pretend you're not experiencing what you're experiencing. It's kind of, for a lack of a better way of describing it, it's like, yeah, but yes, I feel what I'm feeling in this moment, but I'm still choosing my new self. That's what I mean. I'm still choosing new self. Because you're aware that your source, you're aware that your word is God. Your word is source. It's the same power as God, as source, as universe. It's the same. So you choosing your new self, despite what the senses are telling you, is building that new habit. And mark my words, you're going to heal yourself. You are. It'll happen. Just don't give up on it. I hope all that made sense. I manifested my daughter accidentally. What does that mean, Sammy? What do you mean? What does that mean? Dang, Kim, this explanation helped me so much. Thank you so much. That made me feel good. Good. Is it Sashakti? I can't say it. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. I see that S-A-A, and I think of Saab, because those are my favorite cars. Saab. I know they don't make them anymore. They're still my favorite. So. Do you have to perceive the manifestation as here, or can you know you don't see it, but it's coming? Okay. Well, Yes and no. First of all, your perception of reality is the answer to who you really believe you are in that moment. So, in my personal opinion, there's nothing wrong with knowing that your manifestation is coming. Really, to me, that's no different than acknowledging, just like you said, I noticed that my SP isn't sitting next to me on the couch, but I know that everything I'm experiencing is absolutely the unfolding of it. So my manifestation is here, and I'm living it right now in this moment. I'm living it. Let me give you a different example. So I can talk about manifesting a specific person. I feel like I can be an authority on this topic because I've successfully done it. Now, I don't say that as a braggy way. I'm saying it as, so I've been on the journey. I've manifested the lumps and bumps too, to get to this place, to be able to look back and share in hindsight what I experienced, so you don't have to do the same fuckery I did. So me saying that, I can look back now on the whole journey, and I can legitimately say to you, everything I experienced, including the 2 shitty breakups, that back then I would have told you, I don't know why this manifested. I don't know why this happened, but I know why it happened. I was in a victim state. But regardless, I know now that that was all me living and unfolding, living the experience of me having my manifestation. And I do fully have my manifestation. My ultimate outcome was living with my person, which is exactly what I have. And I have maintained it for quite some time. So, again, while living it, especially my early days, I would have told you, no, I don't have my manifestation yet. It's not here yet. This isn't what I want. This is at best was hot and cold behavior. I would have had a different viewpoint because that was based on who I was at the time, right? I've evolved. We're all evolving, every single one of us. But now that the whole physical manifestation is here clearly, I am in that reality, I can see how everything was taking me to it. That's why I say that. That's why I say that every single thing you're experiencing is absolutely bringing you to it. All of it is a part of your manifestation. Everything I experienced was a part of me getting what I wanted. I might not have been able back then to perceive it that way. But as my understanding deepened, meaning my perception of reality, my understanding of who I am, my reality changed with me. Do you see what I mean? And I do believe that because creation is finished and all time is now, everything I was experiencing was so I could have exactly what I wanted. Maybe, let's say, 7 or 8 years ago, me wouldn't have had that understanding to be able to verbalize that answer to you. But 7 or 8 years down the road, me, and again, all time is now, right? All time is now. This is the version I'm embodying. I do have the understanding now to verbalize that answer to you. And I have the lived, experienced memories. But remember what memories are. Okay, dude, you got to stop. US brand shop invites you to co-host. No, US brand, leave a bitch alone. I'm busy. How do I make you stop bugging me? I don't want to talk. Okay. There we go. Sorry. So, viewing your reality as, yes, I'm aware that SP isn't sitting next to you on the couch, but I know what I'm experiencing is me having it or getting it. Like you word, I forgot the exact word you used. Yes, that's perfectly fine. The one thing I would say I don't suggest you do is look at reality and say, oh, it's not working. Nothing's changing. It's not here yet. How much longer do I gotta wait? None of that crap. That's what I suggest you don't do. Because remember, like I said, your perception is telling you who you really are. And I think, again, this is my opinion, the viewpoint of I'm aware what I physically see with my senses, but I don't rely on my senses. But I know I'm experiencing the unfolding of exactly what I want. I know I am. I know I'm in the reality where I get what I want. I know that's happening. Isn't that a hell of a lot better than it's not here yet? Nothing's changed. Do you see what I mean? Two completely different versions of yourself. My little doubts about SP leaving. He did. Why did they manifest? My main thoughts is he would stay. Well, Tracy J, we have two options here. We have the, okay, if from one respect, I believe you, like let's say your manifestation routine, your manifestation game was affirming that he would stay. Okay, let's say that. But the fear manifested. So where was the importance? Where was the importance placed? The fear of him leaving? What was your true identity? And even so, it really doesn't matter how you answer those questions, because truth be told, you might not understand why him leaving manifested, but it still has to lead to your outcome. And sometimes we experience things that make no sense. Now, this is why I bring up several years ago, Kim didn't understand why two breakups manifested. And I would have argued to the death over that. Doesn't make sense. That's not what I was scripting. I was scripting to be in a relationship. I would have said that. And I would have meant it. I would have felt like I was telling you the truth. But I know the fear was always here. And I gave into it regularly. So I know what state I was really in. So this evolved version of me knows I was always in a victim state. And I was very attached to the 3D. Hence why when I manifested two breakups, I lost my shit, spiraled, felt like I spiraled every day over it until I manifested them back. So I was what? I was allowing 3D reality to completely control me and dictate to me what state I was in. Instead of me acting as God, knowing that I was source and deciding who I was so that reality could reflect. No, I was giving all power to 3D. So this is what I mean about where's the importance that he left? So is that what 3D is to you right now? Is 3D the God of your reality, or are you? Are you source, or is 3D? Is 3D dictating to you who you are? And if so, that's not manifesting. I mean, it is manifesting, but it's manifesting as a muggle. A muggle's a basic bitch. A muggle is someone not aware of who they really are. That's what you were doing before you understood who you really are. So if you want your person back, then that is the story you should be telling. That should be the true self you're choosing. The version of you in my words, loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. That's who you are. And your imagination should be focused. Your awareness should be on you experiencing that loving relationship, not what the 3D is showing you. So I react to the 3D all the time, and I hate it because I know better. Well, all right. First of all, though, you got to give yourself a pat on the back because you're aware. You're aware that you shouldn't give into it. You're aware. So that's still evidence that you're shifting. So don't get mad at yourself. And remember, I will argue this to the death with anyone on this platform. You cannot ruin a manifestation. You cannot ruin a manifestation because all time is now. To imply that you can ruin a manifestation because I reacted to the 3D. We're always in the present moment. All time is now. That would imply that the universe or God is flawed. You are not. You are a limitless being who has been conditioned to believe in your limits. So you are evolving to the point of seeing, of realizing, of understanding it is pointless to keep reacting to the 3D. It's pointless. It's like reacting to the stereo speaker because what do we have? Is it CD players now? CD players are skipping. You're reacted to the speaker because of it. Same idea. Do we even have speaker systems and things anymore? Do we even have stereos anymore? Oh, I used to have this huge stereo system with huge subwoofers. Oh, my neighbors hated me. Oh, my younger years. Anyway, it's like getting mad at the speakers when we're mad at the 3D, right? Who's in charge of the, I don't know, Apple Music or the MP, whatever it's called? That's you. That Apple Music, the music app. That's what matters. Who you're being. So if you just reacted to the 3D, okay, it's done. It's over with. So what? Come back to the present. See what I mean? Come back to the present. Big deal. Big deal. Forget it. Not important. And if you really are stressed over it that you reacted, then revise it. Hi, your source. Revise it. Never happened. And that'll be the reality timeline you hop onto. Never happened. No biggie. And it is a no biggie. Go back to who you want to be. The self you're choosing. You'll be fine. Do you believe in manifesting drastic physical changes? Yes, because we manifest our body every single day. Yes. There is nothing that you cannot manifest. And it's silly, when anyone says, oh, yeah, but you can't manifest this. You can't manifest this, Kim. Why? Because you believe that you can't manifest it? So you're embodying a version of yourself that doesn't believe, but that doesn't mean everybody else believes the same fucking thing you believe. Okay? There are no limits. I'm full of sass tonight. I'm not going to lie. I've been like this all day. I love sass and snark. I can't help it. It just makes me laugh. Okay. I'm on Apple Music. Still share playlists with SP. You go, Rachel. You go. How do I realize I'm source? Meditation? Meditation is, yeah, but it's not a requirement. You're meditating all the time, truthfully. There is nothing wrong with anybody that likes to meditate in the quiet with their eyes closed. That's okay. That's one way. But really, any time that you're in observer mode, you're meditating. So knowing your God, ask to be shown, ask for an experience. You will manifest it for yourself as God, as source. Truthfully, what helped me, now again, this is not me saying this is the one way only, this is my experience. Going in and doing my best to keep bringing it back to observer mode. At first, now, so keeping it real, I have ADHD, so I think you can figure out that my thoughts are all over the fucking place, right? Hence why the way I was just describing that old school meditation always was like, yeah, fuck no, I am never going to be able to do that. No. Right? Because my mind's all over because I have ADHD. But bringing it back when it does want to veer off to something else, again, it will get easy. I can see where staying in observer mode has helped me stay more aware. I would actually word it more of staying more alert to who I am. But as far as the deepening of the knowing or the connection of God, it's already there. It's already there. You already have that deep connection because that's who you are. You're already unconditional love. It's just the state or version of self you're in right now probably believes that you need to do more to get that connection because you still feel like a normal self, the normal person you believed you were. So in other words, when I first started hearing all this, you are God of your reality, and when I was like reading Neville Goddard and people were careful how they worded it in the early days of YouTube. But so when I finally like, oh my God, that's really what they mean. I remember feeling like, I don't think I can be God though. I don't think I can. There's no way I'm that. Because I know some of the thoughts I have. And when I'm angry, my thoughts are not nice. I don't feel like I could be God. There must be something more that I need to do to have that connection. Because it just feels like, God's got the phone off the hook. He's not communicating with me. And by he, I just use he out of habit. Not because I think God is he. I think God is genderless. But the staying in observer mode or coming back to the present moment, that's really all I needed. And that the deepening, the knowing, or I like to say it like that, relationship with self, it comes naturally. It's not something you have to force. And no matter how far away from that, meaning you might feel like you're a million miles away from that knowing, you're not. That's just the state you're in, talking. Oops, what did I do? Okay. Am I setting myself up if I ask for an experience, clear proof tonight as opposed to whenever? Rachel, okay, first of all, you already got proof. You already got your proof, so what do you need more proof for? See, unfortunately for Rachel, I know Rachel. I already know Rachel. And I know Rachel has had amazing movement / evidence appear in reality for you. I know it. Why do you need more? Now, you're God, your source. You can have more if you want more. It's not about the fact that you want more. It's about the fact of what is on your mind that's even coming up. What's going on that's even coming in that you need more validation. That's a state, my friend. Oh, you're something else. I'm the source. You said this in a past post, and that's how I now refer. Thank you for this insight. Oh, wonderful. And Angela, thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, you guys use the words that feel best for you. I tend to run back and forth between source and God. Source or God, one or the other I use. Now, in a lot of my videos, I try to think of every possible word that someone might want to use. So I'm like, you are God, source, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, whatever you want to call it. I try to say that sometimes to say, call it what you want. You don't have to say God. You don't have to say source or universe, self, me, whatever. What feels good to you? Moonbeams. Yes. I'm turning 40 in February and been having random anxiety since August about it. Why? Because you're turning 40? Who fucking cares? Age means shit. Age doesn't mean shit. So, all right, what's your beliefs about being 40? What's your beliefs about aging? Now, I'm going to say, because I think you're female, Rose. I'm assuming you're female. Okay, good. You already answered. Wait a minute. I was going to say, because I know, at least personal opinion, from my reality perspective, there are limiting beliefs about, especially in my opinion, specifically around women in aging, which are fucking bullshit. That's a different conversation, though. We are not choosing to accept those damn beliefs, are we? But you did answer me, so I'll go back. Because I am not married yet, nor having kids yet. Okay, none of that fucking matters either. Do not worry. All right, and I know that there are some of you out there who would like to have the experience of having children, and maybe you're fearing the biological clock ticking. And maybe you're not even fearing the biological clock. Maybe you're just fearing age in general, because maybe it's not you going to have the birth of the baby. Maybe you were just wanting to be with a partner to have the partner have that baby. Or maybe you want to adopt. Whatever. Maybe you just have a worry, a fear about age in general, about being a parent. All limits. What? What do you mean? Hold on. This bloody... What do you mean unable to? Oh my gosh. TikTok, why do you gotta suck such ass? Okay, sorry. It said that there was no activity on the live and they were gonna end it. Why, bitches? You don't see me moving in... TikTok, stop sucking ass, please. You wonder why I go live on YouTube more. You wonder why. See? Hear my limited beliefs? You hear them? Okay. So... yes, and SP is not consistent. Okay. Issa Barbell, why does that happen though? Why? How are you supposed to show yourself that you're more active when you're the one talking in the video? I just don't get it. Okay. So, if I were you, I would be making a decision right now of who the hell I want to be. And be specific. Let's say that what you're manifesting is being married to your specific person, having babies, you know, and maybe you've got other areas in your life that you want specific things in. All right, be detailed and decide that's who you are now. And start identifying as that version of yourself. And when thoughts come in, fears come in, see them for what they are. They are just opportunities to other versions of you or other realities. Just because a thought pops into your mind doesn't mean it's going to automatically manifest. That is not true. Or if this would make sense a little better, every thought that comes into your mind, literally, because you are every single version of yourself out of the infinite, you are all of them. Those thoughts can belong to other you. Other versions of you. So when thoughts come in that don't feel good and don't resonate with what you're manifesting or what your desires are, let them float right on by. If it would make you feel better to let yourself know, hey, you know, I don't choose that. Not my reality. It's not who I'm choosing to be. Then fine. But that can get exhausting. I think coming into the understanding that you don't have to be afraid of your thoughts is more beneficial, but that's just my opinion. You don't have to be afraid. And if you're fearing, you know, time in of itself, like, well, I want to be married before I'm 41. I want that. Okay. Then start telling that story that as if you already are. Because you already are. Because all time is now. Do you see what I mean? Do you go live often? You know what? Let me just tell you, I used to go live all the time. And I want to again. I swear I say that every time I go live, though, because I miss it. And the last few months, I've already had a pre-filled schedule that I couldn't put the live streams in. But I said it on my YouTube channel a couple months ago. Like, I am dead serious about scheduling lives into my schedule. That hasn't changed. It's just when I said it, the months in front of it were already really heavily booked. But my intention is to go live more because lives are my favorite outside of coaching. It's my favorite. Because it's like you guys are hanging out with me in my living room. We're chilling. That's what it feels like to me. This is the best part. I used to go live every single Wednesday evening on YouTube and I'd be there for hours. And it was fucking fun. I have every intention on getting back to something like that on here and on YouTube. Well, thank you so much, Gracian. Thank you very much. I do too, Mayhem Beauty, to be honest. Hence why I'm here tonight. I do too. And some of you must be manifesting it because it's been on my mind a lot lately, missing it. And I will say, though, when I kind of got out of the habit of having them, it was because I was having to fill them with coaching sessions. And then I started noticing, like, man, I'm tired at night. I'm tired. And I'm not my best self, so I don't like to go live if I don't feel like I'm judged, because I don't want, I don't want shit energy coming out, right? I want to judge you, not bring you down, right? Because I'm tired. But I noticed my energy is shifting again, and my night energy is coming back. So I'm like, you know what? It cannot be a coincidence that that's been on my mind, that I want to do the night live streams again. So it's me manifesting it, right? What was the thing for you that confirmed you could manifest? Like, what was it that eliminated doubt? I probably would answer this question differently depending on where I was in my journey, first of all. And I'm trying to think, what was my big... I think, all right, the first thing that at least got me to the place of thinking, oh my God, maybe I really can manifest, was when I first manifested my person. And then, having the experience of first, couple, I want to say, not the first few times, because I find myself, I still react like, oh my God, even though it's been a couple years now. When he has said word for word things that I had said in inner conversations, or just thinking thoughts in general. Also, I manifested a lump sum a couple years ago. When that came in, that was pretty, oh my God. But actually, this is a really good question, because a lot of what I see, and this is because, out of coaching or reading comments, you kind of forget your magic moments. So let's say, all right, you're manifesting a specific person, that manifestation comes in. Now you're on to the next thing. When you're getting yourself entangled into the 3D, right? We're focusing too much on 3D reality. You forget your magic moments. You forget, like, holy shit, I just manifested this shit. I just manifested that. I know I can manifest. Why am I doubting? And it's because in that moment you're believing in separation. You're too entangled or too attached to 3D. You're forgetting. My suggestion is write shit down. Like, I'm a paper and pens kind of girl anyway. And when I first found manifestation, I did a lot of scripting because it felt good to me. But I can look back at those scripting journals and I can flip page after page after page of shit. Like, this manifested, this manifested, this manifested. And I've got all my journals, all of them. I never shot out anything. And I see what a value that is now. Because it's notebook after notebook of things that manifested. So what I'm trying to say is, whatever it is you're manifesting right now, write it down or put it in your phone secretly. No one has to know it's there, so that you can come back and say, yep, I did it. I did this, I did that, because you will. And a big suggestion is to not really think of it as I'm manifesting. It's instead identifying as already having, as already being that version of yourself. If I could give you only one piece of advice, I would tell you that. But so, probably the typical answers, the SP manifestation, the lump sum. But I gotta be honest, yes, those were all wonderful, magical moments. But sometimes I think some of the downloads I would get felt more like that to me, are more of what I think of when it comes to manifesting. I don't know why. But like the moment of understanding states of consciousness was clearly, it was important because I talk about it all the fucking time. Because that changed everything for me. That changed the game. And that was around the time that I got him to change in less than 24 hours. That was a big one. Like, oh my God, I did that. I did that. Detachment. That's why I talk about detachment all the time. Detachment and knowing your state, knowing who you're choosing to be. Whew. That one, I thought I was pretty badass in that manifestation. Oh, that sounds so stupid now, but oh, I was so pleased with myself when that happened. Did you do plant medicine? No, but I do not judge anybody who does. Thank you very much. No. And I don't know if you're talking about like what I would call like the regular, like if you're talking about like pot, that kind of stuff. I've tried that. Yeah. No, not a regular user, but also not a judger. But the other stuff you might be referring to, hey, I know a lot of people who have had successful experiences, but it's not, you do not need it to get it. You do not need it to reach any level of consciousness. I just want to say that. But I'm also not trying to push somebody doing something. I'm just saying, I don't judge. I don't judge anybody unless you're going to hurt animals or hurt an innocent person. Then I'm going to judge you, but you get what I'm saying. Thank you for everything, Kim. I manifested so much just from your videos and lost. Well, that was so nice. Bonnie girl, thank you very much. I'm very happy for you. Is it possible to get rid of trauma with just a decision that you've never had it? Fearing subconscious mind. Ooh, what a freaking good question. Yes. Yes, it is. Because you're God, because you're source, because you are the universe, because you created that subconscious mind as source. Yes. Yes, I cannot this question enough. Yes, you can. And don't let anyone tell you differently. And anyone telling you differently, from love, I am saying, they believe what they're saying. So they experience the evidence of what they believe in their reality. So I am not trying to say that they're pushing lies. They believe what they're saying. And there are infinite versions of us, right? Every single one of us. There's infinite versions of me. There's infinite versions of you. And this is why we say the only thing that ever matters at the end of the day is what you believe. And I know there are a lot of teachers out there who make it seem like it's so much more difficult to do that. No. If you have trauma, you're fucked. It's going to be a while before you can fix this. It's not true. That's a belief. And again, I'm not in any way trying to downplay what you or anyone else has ever experienced. I'm not downplaying it. I'm not trying to make it, what's the words, like insignificant. What I'm trying to say is it does not have to limit you. And yes, you can ditch it and be a new self and be a self that never experienced it and have the body agree. Yes, you can. I get very passionate over that. Just saying, because I heard and saw a video the other day that pissed me off, and I was judging the person in the video. They were insinuating that you just can't do that. And anybody says that you can, well, then they have never experienced trauma, or they have never experienced, narcissism. Okay, can I give a big, fat, heavy right here? Right here. Not true. Not true. I just don't discuss anything of that because I don't bring that garbage with me because I've made a decision. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't have to talk about and relish in it and continue the story and continue that identity as God. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Yeah, you can. And it's your birthright to be free from it. It's your birthright. So I promise you, anybody out there, if you're thinking that because you've experienced trauma of any kind at any time in your life, if you think that your subconscious mind is going to trap you and keep you in a program per se, not if you decide differently, it won't. It can. It's being created by you too. Your source. Source, God, universe, whatever words you like, moonbeams, created all. And you are that all. You are that. You created all. You are manifesting your reality, this illusion reality every day. Your body's included in that illusion. So this can be recreated at any point. It's just, what are you choosing to believe? Which self are you choosing? And you can't judge yourself if you have the experience of making your decision and let's say a day later something comes in the mind. Don't automatically make the assumption, now this has failed, this didn't work, I can't do it, or maybe my subconscious mind is holding this from me or keeping me stuck in programming. You are God. You need to remember who you are. Okay? Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Blockage. It feels like confining our own power, if that makes sense. Absolutely, it does. Absolutely. It implies limits, as in God. God has limits. God has flaws. No, universe is not flawed. Universe is limitless, infinite. So are you. That's because you are it. You don't have blocks. You have a belief in the blocks, not you. Not you specifically. I'm saying in general. It's a belief. I also hear a lot of like negative talking about ego. Well, your desire is an ego desire. All desires have a little touch of ego on it. Let's just be honest. All desires do. First of all. And ego is also a manifestation of that same source. So we don't have to shit on the ego either. Right? Listen, she's so bored to tears of that kind of judgment. Right, Poop? She's like, why are you talking to me, bitch? I'm busy sleeping. It's a barbell. You are so nice. You're giving me so many nice comments. I'm seeing them all. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today, Kim. Thank you for reminding us who we are. You are welcome. I like you. Thank you too. Oh my gosh, you guys are sending me stuff too. I'm sorry. I'm not seeing them all. I'm not saying thank you to all of them. I'm sorry. You can hear her snoring in my headphones. Oh, Erin, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you right now, she's not. This is a sassy queen, and she just doesn't care. And there'll be days where I am trying to record my YouTube videos, right, my long-form videos, and this bitch will snore the whole time. She just doesn't care, okay? If you're new here, her name is Poop, but it's not her real name. Her real name's Trinity. But when she was a puppy, I called her Poopsie, and Poop stuck. And now she only answers to Poop. So you can imagine what it's like at the vet office. Poop. Kim, I got my SP back. He proposed. I got pregnant and had a baby after years of thinking I couldn't. Vonnie girl, you are a mega success story. Hello, BBLs to everybody else manifesting the same thing. Hello. Congratulations. This is wonderful news. You got your SP. He proposed. You got pregnant. Had the baby after years of thinking I couldn't. Hello. Look at you being a master manifestor. Look at you being God of your reality. Look at you being a badass. Congratulations. Congratulations on the baby. It's so exciting. You're engaged. So much inspiration for other people. That is so kind of you. If she can, then I can. Damn right. Damn right. And if you change your mind after you get your manifestation, does reality just reflect that? I don't think I'm understanding what you're asking me. If you change your mind after you get your manifestation, does reality just reflect that? Why am I'm having like a mental snooze for a minute. Can you be more specific? I'm sorry. Like if you decide you want something else. Well, yeah, reality's always going to reflect who you identify as. All right, so in other words, let's say you were manifesting, we'll say SP number 1, okay? You're manifesting SP1. SP1 manifests. You're in that relationship with SP1 and you suddenly realize, oh shit, I don't want SP1. I want SP2. There's somebody new in the picture, we'll say. I want this SP2. I don't want this SP1. So just like you manifested SP1, you start identifying as being with SP2. Reality will reflect, meaning, right, that orchestration, a series of events will unfold to make your new identity true, to experience the reflection of me. So it will take care of itself, right? You'll be living the experience, but yeah, it'd be no different. You could change your mind about anything. Listen, there are people that start this journey manifesting a particular, we'll say an SP1, and midway through change their mind and move on to an SP2. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you change your mind, you change your fucking mind. You're the source of your reality. You're the God of your reality. You can do whatever the hell you want. Manifest whatever you want. Change your mind. It's no different. It's just moving on to the next manifestation. I hope that's what you were asking. I finally purchased membership to get help and can't even participate because he came. Love you too. Wait a minute. Listen. Love my G-babies. Wait a minute. Are you saying that you joined my channel membership and you can't even show up to it because your SP manifested in? Is that what you're saying here? This is wonderful. I mean, not wonderful that you can't join or hang out with us, but wonderful that it happened. Man, look at all you success stories coming in here tonight. See, it's because you're an HBIC. That's what I'm going to decide. It's because you're an HBIC. Thank you, Liz Ebert. Kim, I'm a great visualizer. I don't know why, but I can't visualize my desire anymore. Any idea why? Ooh. You can't visualize your desire anymore. So, do you mean, I'm going to give you an example. Do you mean like, say you were manifesting a specific person and when you go to visualize your person, you're struggling to get the clear picture of the person. Like you can't see their face anymore. Is that what you mean? Or are you saying, I just don't feel called to visualize? Like when I want to visualize my desire, I just can't do it. I just don't feel like it. Just don't feel like I need to do it. Is it something along those lines? Kimberly, I'm loving all the BBLs and I'm loving that your name's Kimberly. Exactly the second. All right. So that you just don't feel called to do it. So on the other hand, are you finding that you're like sliding into marinating in horseshit, or are you still in the mindset of being your new self? If you're new to my channel, new self just means the wish fulfilled, the version of you that has a desire. So are you living your life as being that new self and not marinating in shit? Because if it's that, no, I'm not marinating shitty thoughts. I'm not worried about the manifestation. I know it's done. I don't need to stress it. To me, that's perfection. That's what Neville Goddard would have said. Oh my God. I can't think of the word. The Sabbath. The Sabbath. You are in the awareness of knowing it's done. There's nothing more to do. So you don't feel called to visualize or do any techniques, which in my opinion and from my own experience, it's a part of that evolution. It's part of the, I don't want to call it a process, but you get what I'm saying. It's part of it. Poop, you are sucking the air out of the room. I'm so sorry, she's so rude. I think I just get thrown and discouraged. Okay, well, that's a little different. Adelaide, that's a little different. Okay. So when you say thrown and kicked out, what are we getting thrown out by? What is our attachment to 3D reality? Because detachment is our best friend. The less attached we are to reality, especially the reality we are not loving, the quicker we get out of it. The quicker we collapse in the reality we want. See what I mean? But I will say to anybody else who was resonating with the other half of that, as in, you don't feel called to do any techniques. You're also not marinating in shit. You just aren't stressing your manifestation. You know it's done. There's nothing more to do. That's perfection. That's, as Neville would say, the Sabbath. And if you're aware that you are source and you're experiencing that, oh, just a matter of time. It's a matter of it happening. Meaning, let's not split hairs. It's happening now, right? You're experiencing the unfolding of it, but I'm saying it's not that far off. If we're talking linear time, even though we know it's not real, it's happening for you. It's a done deal. That's the thing, is when you know that you're God, when you know that you're source, and I don't mean, I know, like, especially if you're new to this and you hear me keep saying, you're God, you're God, you're God. I'm sure there is that feeling, like that blasphemous feeling when I'm saying it. I don't mean like this, in a sense, egotistical, I'm God, and this negativity, I'm going to destroy the world. I don't mean it in that way. I mean, no, you're literally God manifesting everything around you, and everything you're experiencing is a reflection of your own awareness. That's what I mean, but in a loving place, because that's what we all are, is unconditional love. But when you want to experience something, and you've already come into the knowing and the understanding that you are source, and there's a desire that you're shooting for. I want to experience being in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with that specific person. Or I want to manifest, I want to be a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's now knowing as source that is who you are choosing to be. That's who this character now is. The millionaire version of you. Accepting it, making the decision that you are now that person, that character, and then not stressing it, not checking for it in the 3D, knowing comfortably that everything you're experiencing is absolutely a part of you being that millionaire or being in that relationship. That's like a manifesting badass. That is the most perfect flow state. Knowing you're God, and then not shitting yourself over what you're manifesting, easily walking into and deciding that you are that self now, that's fucking perfection. That's why I say detachment's your bestie. Don't believe your reality. And all I mean by that is, if reality doesn't look the way you prefer, don't you be fooled by that. Don't assume that this isn't working. Don't assume you're doing anything wrong. It just seems like the first place people go is, okay, I must be doing something wrong. Or I need to do more in the technique side of the house. No, you don't. You need to know that you're source. That's all you need. Your source identifying as a version of itself. That's all you need. You might not logically, literally, rationally understand what you're experiencing, but it's leading you to exactly what you want. It has to. There is no other option. And think about that. Think about your life as a whole. Think about your life experience up until you finding manifestation. Didn't your life match what you believed about yourself? I know the answer is yes to it. If you're being authentically honest, your life matched exactly what you believed, or it was a reflection of who you really believed you were and what your beliefs were about whatever subject area you're thinking about relating to your life. It was a match. And it's because reality always matches. It always reflects. It has to. And it is no different when you are choosing to be who you want to be. Reality works no differently. In other words, it must reflect you because it is you, right? Because it's moving through you. So it's an automatic guarantee. If this is what you want, then decide you are this thing, that you already are it, because you are. Reality will have to reflect because, again, you are reality. We never have to worry about what we're manifesting. And the only time we do is when we're either focusing on something out in the 3D and perceiving it through that logical, literal, rational lens or filter, or we're marinating and listening to fears. That's it. Right, Poop? I want to be acting in an Aussie drama TV show. Okay. Gracie, now you know who to start identifying as. I hope you were writing that with confidence. How long have you been live? I don't know, to be honest with you. Does this thing tell me how long I've been live? I don't know. Let me look to see what time I made one of my videos live on YouTube. We did a premiere video. And I came live shortly after that. Hold on. Unless somebody else can tell me how long I've been, because I'm not sure. Poop, you're so loud. Maybe, all right, it says 2 hours ago is when I put the video up on YouTube. So maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe. Kim, I've been affirming for 3 months, but I'm getting cold moving at the moment. Okay. So if you're perceiving that you're getting cold movement from your SP, that's what I'm assuming you're talking about as an SP. All right, so right now your perception is I'm getting cold movement. Okay. So right now, because that's your perception, that's who you believe you are. So what do you really believe about love? What do you really believe about your specific person? What do you believe is really possible for you? And are you aware of who you truly are as pure, unadulterated consciousness, aka God, Source, Universe? Are you aware that you are that? So what has been your true identity over the last, you said 3 months, so 3 months? Who have you really been walking around being? Because let me say this, and this is not me picking on you in any way, shape, or form. This is just me pointing out the truth. When we perceive that we're experiencing hot and cold behavior, in my early days, that's exactly what I perceived too. So that's why I mean, no judgment. When we're perceiving it and we're looking at it reality and we're like, yeah, it's been 3 fucking months of this shit. You know, SP is still sucks. He just sucks. He's not being nice, whatever. We believe that. We believe it because of who we believe we are. So there must be a belief within us that perceives that possibility of experiencing that cold behavior. So we need to decide we are a different version of ourselves. And we get to just decide we are a different version of ourselves because our true self is Source. So put the focus, again, these are my words, but put the focus on being the version of you that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with the most loving, unconditionally loving version of your specific person, because every single person is unconditional love. That's what that God source is, right? That's what pure, unadulterated consciousness is. So even if your SP has shown up cold, we no longer want to label SP as being that way. So stay aware, stay in observer mode, and I almost took us in a circle here. Be aware of how you're describing and thinking of your specific person, because we want to let go of stories, that they're unfavorable or they've done things that are unfavorable. You want to kind of step away from believing and agreeing with that storyline, because that's what keeps you in that reality. See what I mean? When we hang on to stories about our person, about love, relationships, about ourselves, think of that as an anchor to the reality where you experience that shit. So we want to, we are like uplifting all our anchors by telling a new story, that you are the you, experience the love you want, that you deserve, that you're worthy of. Tori, absolutely yes. 100% yes. I truly believe he still loves me, and I am everything he's ever asked for. Good for you, June Bugs. Good for you. This is good. Okay, so you truly believe those two things. What do you now truly believe about what you're experiencing in reality? You don't have to answer that. I'm just saying, what is your answer to it? And if the answer to it is not what you wish you were really experiencing, then that's the story we're going to stop telling. And you're going to start telling your new story, that you have what you want in your reality. I was just thinking about you a few days ago, but look at you, huh? You manifested this. Love your energy, Kim. Thank you so much. Have you ever manifested the how? I don't want to. Just curious if you did. No. My old self would have desperately tried to, though. I would have I absolutely tried to. I tried to control every aspect of the how of the unfolding. I tried so terribly hard. I was always in a victim state, and that's the truth. And let me try to explain what I've learned from that. I'm glad you automatically said you're not trying. Because what I've learned over my years in this journey, and let's see, I am old now, so gotta stop telling that story. It's been what, 12, 13 years? I've learned that whenever we want to control the how, we are totally, whether we want to own it or not, totally in a victim state. And we're definitely believing in separation in that moment, which is why we feel like we have to control the how. Because we're not trusting at all. We're not believing that as source, that higher self knows a better way to bring you exactly what you want. And I also will tell you that, again, this is going all the way back from the beginning of my being aware of manifestation journey. Of course, in my early days, I thought I had the best way figured out too. I figured how I thought it should unfold. I thought my way was the best way. And I could not understand why, God, universe wouldn't just fucking do what I wanted. Okay. How things did actually unfold to me, and I'm talking all of my manifestations. Obviously, I'm on to new manifestations, but I'm saying from back then till now, everything you can think of came in a better way than I could ever think of. Everything. And they came in ways that totally blew my mind. So I've learned in these 12, 13 years, let go of that how. Let go. I'm not telling you that I'm not human and that I never have moments of being irritated with 3D. No, I'm human and I absolutely still have moments like that. Everybody does and everybody will. But I've learned how to let them go. Get back to who you're choosing to be, or get back to knowing your source. That's always my go-to. But I do my best to not even bother with 3D. And that's only because of experience, right? I've lived it. Don't fight the 3D. And you're not saying that, and I don't want you to think that I think you're saying that, but I'm just saying in general to anybody out there. I've learned there is no point in trying to control the how. The only thing you're sincerely doing in that moment is you're still letting fear control something. Hence the desire to control the unfolding. Because when you know you're God, you have no need. You have no need to mess with things out here because you comfortably know you're going to get what you want anyway. It's going to happen. You're going to be brought literally what you want. So why fear it? Why fight it? I hope you're having a good night. I am, Bella. I hope you are too. So don't ever hang on for an apology. Truthfully, no. When you're hanging on for an apology, there is still resentment happening. So in other words, you're anchoring yourself to the reality where that apology is needed. You're anchoring yourself to a reality where you don't want to be. So listen, that doesn't mean you won't get that apology. When you put the focus on, number one, knowing who you are as source, God, universe, and then focused on the version of self you want to be. So let's say you're talking about a specific person, wanting an apology from your specific person. When you put the focus on being who you want to be, as in being in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with that person. Now, maybe their old self was a turd, okay? But that old self of them was a reflection of the beliefs from you, right? Again, we're not beating ourselves up for it. We're just owning it as source. So why hang on for an apology to an old shit version of them when we are now in the awareness that they were only ever reflecting our own beliefs about everything, right? Everything goes in the mixing pot. All beliefs, they go in the mixing pot. So it's not just your belief about that person. It's the belief about, again, we're using the example as like a romantic relationship. It's your beliefs about love. It's your beliefs about yourself. It's your beliefs about life. It's your beliefs about everything in that melting pot. So when we're hanging on to it, like they owe me an apology, we cannot get back together until I actually hear that person say, I'm sorry, because I deserve that apology. Oh, no. I'm not saying you don't deserve that apology. That's not what we're saying. When we feel the need to hang out for it, if I don't have the actual experience of having that apology, you are not being unconditional. You are being conditional. And your true self is unconditional love. So you automatically know that you're still resonating with a not good enough belief. And I know they seem that not attached, but they are. And it's coming from the not good enough belief. So put the focus on who you want to be, as we're going to say, still sticking to that example, the version of you in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship who is always treated with love and respect or unconditional love from your specific person. You keep your awareness on being that self, everything will unfold naturally to make that be true, right? To reflect that new state. So more than likely, you will have the experience. Now, again, it won't be word for word what I'm saying, right? You'll have your own individual experience, but more than likely, that apology will come naturally anyway. Because now, I'm not saying that every single manifestation has, a long bridge of incidents before you fully see it. I don't mean that. However, a lot of manifestations show up with an unfolding. Even instant manifestations you experience an unfolding. There is still that linear time-wise, that like millisecond before you see it from the second you didn't see it. There's still that. That's still the unfolding. Unfoldings tend to be what you as the individual believe as natural, as believable to you, meaning which self you're being. That's the reflection you're experiencing, what is believable to you. So more than likely that apology would come anyway, but it wouldn't have to be forced by you, and you wouldn't be anchoring yourself to a reality where that person is still that version of themselves. I hope that's making sense. Resentment is a big one. I see it a lot in SP manifestations. I'm not saying that all SP manifestations have them. I'm saying those who are manifesting people back, I see it a lot. I'm just going to leave it like that. And that's usually the clincher of what is anchoring that person to that old reality. When we feel the need that this person has to say they're sorry. I have a right to be treated with kindness. Oh yeah, you do. Your birthright is to be treated with unconditional love, because that's exactly who you are. But you're experiencing this reality. This reality is your reflection. So the less attachment we have for the need to hear some words, the sooner we can become the version of ourselves who would never have experienced the thing we need the apology for. Do you see what I'm saying? Things will come naturally. It'll unfold naturally. You'll get the apology anyway, without you sitting and needing it from a place of anchoring yourself to a reality you don't want to be in. Hope that made sense. All hands for a sassy sleep track series for Kimberly. Can you imagine? I have been asked that before, I'm not going to lie. I've thought about it, but I don't know if I could get through one without laughing. That's the problem. Yes, I resent him, even though he has changed. I think it's a self-concept problem. Okay, so remember, ultimately, the number one thing that matters is to know who you are as source. Okay. Now, if you're someone that the wording you prefer isn't source, or maybe you don't like saying, that you're the God of your reality. You don't like universe. You don't like higher power, source, energy, moonbeams. Fine. Maybe you like just talking about the subconscious mind. From my perspective, I don't care. We can work with whatever you believe. But when it comes to the subconscious mind, please remember that that is your creation as well. That is your manifestation as well. Every part of you, of this physical body, every part of us, everything about us is manifested from consciousness. So when we're talking about the self-concept, remember, at every given moment, you are in a state. Every single second, you're in a state. Including, wait a minute, let me get another one of these freaking invite me shits to get out of here. God, they're irritating. Yeah, turn off. Thank you. So every given moment, you are making a decision to be a version of yourself. So my suggestion is, don't identify as the self that needs to fix her self-concept or needs to change her self-concept. Because that always, in my opinion, just sounds limiting. But again, that's from my perspective. Instead, think of yourself as, number one, I'm assuming you want the relationship with this person. So you're identifying as the self in that relationship. And you're the self that can let things go. You're the self that has accepted or believes that you're experiencing reflection. So therefore, everything out here is reflection, including whatever this person did that you have had resentment for. It was reflection. It was a reflection of an old belief. Their true self, their true nature is unconditional love. In other words, whoever this person is wasn't consciously choosing to hurt you. And we can forgive them as source. And the moment you're able to forgive, in a sense, you are forgiving yourself. You're also revising time. You're revising, you're moving timelines. Let me word it like that. Forgiveness is the ultimate. It's the ultimate as source. Because forgiveness is also getting you closer to your mark, to your aim, as Neville Goddard would word that. Meaning, what is true sin? True sin is missing your mark. Let me Kim that down. That just means what your heart's desire is. Every time we give up on it and we don't bring our conscious awareness back to knowing A, that we're God, and B, that you are choosing to be this character, the self experiencing the heart's desire. Every time you give up on it, every time that you fall out of it and choose not to return, that's sinning. That's you missing the mark. True forgiveness is A, bringing yourself back to the desire, bringing yourself to that desired self, to that version of yourself, bringing the awareness back. And how we view others, meaning specific people or anybody else in your reality experience, how we view them when we are viewing them through that lens of unconditional love, that is also forgiveness, which only benefits you in that sense. Again, I know I'm wordy tonight. I'm talkative. He changed for me because I'm worthy. Damn right. You want SP to choose me, but I feel like where's the rest of it? I feel like I don't see choosing him to choose me. I'm choosing him to choose me. I'm trying to see that perspective. I'm choosing him. I feel like I'm choosing him to choose me. Well, I mean, if we were looking through that literally, if you brought the focus off of him and put it more on who you are as a woman that's always chosen, meaning being a version of yourself that it is just known, it's just your normal, it's what you always experience to be chosen. So in other words, you've never had the experience of not being chosen. That's never been a part of your experience as this new self. I can see where your thinking is, I'm choosing him to then choose me. Yeah, but you're choosing yourself. You're choosing that particular version of yourself, but you're choosing yourself because you've already chosen yourself, right? As source. So to experience the reflection of being chosen, I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking at it like I'm choosing him to choose me. All of this, everybody in your reality, everything in your reality is you, right? So, yeah. I can't tell if you mean that in it makes you feel yucky kind of way or that makes you feel good kind of way. So I'm questioning how I should answer you to make you feel better or to bring you in a different perspective. Oops. Okay. I'm so happy. In just 3 days, I manifested seeing my SP after over a year. Well done. Like he's lucky in a good way, powerful way. Yeah, there you go. Is it Stacy? I like that attitude. Damn right he is. Damn right. Okay, so yeah, you meant it in a good way. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. This is a great live. We're having a good time tonight, aren't we? out of Munich. Good morning. Well, good morning. Or good afternoon. No, good evening. It's evening for me. SP has repeated my affirmations and expressed how much he loves me and adores me. Now there is a X. Well, first of all, look at your SP. Look at you getting a beautiful movement. Thank you very much. But what do you mean now there is a X? What does that mean? Like a third party X? Totally irrelevant, truthfully. This is why we need Kim's sassy sleep tracks. Oh, I don't know if I could do it without laughing. I'm sorry. Is it weird that I get annoyed when SP texts me? Only because I want to solidify myself. I think you mean self-concept more. You get annoyed when SP texts you. And is that what you're manifesting? Is to be with your SP? And then you get annoyed that SP is texting you? That is kind of hilarious. And there is a part of me resonating with you because I feel like I've had that experience. Oh. No, it's not weird. Because as soon as you said it, I had that deja vu feeling that I've had this conversation with you before. Well, all times now. So we have had the conversation before. But I also can resonate with feeling like I experienced that specifically before too. So no, I don't think it's weird. But I do think it's hilarious. The laugh is part of it. We would love that. Adds the sass. Good, because I would be laughing a lot. But thank you. Happy New Year. My message keeps getting buried. Love you. Love you too, Roxana. Roxana? Where am I thinking of Roxana? Why do I know that name? Roxy. Roxy. Do you mind if we call you Roxy? Or are you the Roxy that I'm talking about? Okay, you are. See, you were the Roxy I was thinking of. And how are you? Manifesting Maven. I just think of the song Roxanne. That's a damn good song. Well, thank you so much, these joining my teams. I said it earlier in the live stream, I highly appreciate you doing that. I'm not sure what it means, though. But I'm taking it as something you doing very nice, and I appreciate you. So thank you. Amazing, my life is on fire in the best way. Yay! This is good. This is always good. Look at all these, thank you, these joining my team things. And the roses, the hearts, thank you. Oh, I love these things. Thank you so much. Nicholas, thank you. I'm loving this live, just having wine and chilling. I'm loving this live too. My SP's napping. He had work last night. If you weren't here in the early part of my life, he was working last night. So he got home about 2-ish. Ooh, I just started this. Hold on. Whoop. It's going to get loud. There we go. So he's catnapping so then we can watch the ball go down and, have a cocktail or two when the ball's going down. Anyway, that's our New Year's. This girl is on fire. I hope you're talking about me. Thank you very much. But it's okay if you're talking about yourself. I'm going to take it as you're talking about me. Thank you. Kim, I find when I spiral is when I'm PMSing. Just being real with you, LOL. Totally resonate. Totally understand. And do you see how that is the reflection of the conditioning of your beliefs about PMSing, your beliefs about hormones? And by the way, when I say your beliefs, listen, no judgment, because those were also beliefs I've had. I'm saying past tense because these are things I'm choosing to not resonate with anymore. I'm choosing not to have those beliefs. But yes, totally understand. Thank you so much. Man, you're just Nicholas or Nicholas, TTS. Thank you. Please help. My SP doesn't want me because of photos he has seen of me. We haven't met yet. We haven't met yet, and he doesn't want you because of photos he has seen. So revise it. Never happened. He never saw those photos. Or whatever photos he did see, he loved. Revise it. Your source. We don't accept anything as final or cemented unless we want it that way. I know that sounds sassy, okay? And I do respect and understand that not everyone is of the understanding that we can revise anything we want. For some, that's a bit woo-woo. I get it. But if you know who the hell you are as pure, unadulterated consciousness, there is nothing you have to accept as final. Unless, of course, you are seeing it as a part of the unfolding of you getting exactly what you want. Either perspective is fine. But if it's really upsetting you, revise that shit. He never saw the pictures. Never happened. Never happened. And every time the thought of it happening comes into your mind, it never happened. It never happened. You can replace it too. You can decide something else happened in its place if you want to. You don't have to for it to work, by the way. You're God. Your source. But revise that shit. Seriously, revise it. I've got plenty of videos on revision. Can you touch on 3 Ps? What would you like me to touch upon? Thank you. What does that mean? What specifically do you want to hear about 3 Ps? Because they're fucking irrelevant, truthfully. They are manifestations of, most commonly, the not good enough belief. So, just like anything else, they're not cemented. They're not true obstacles. Just how to detach. Detachment is a practice. And by practice, I simply mean that when there's something, we're going to call it upsetting. We'll call a 3P upsetting. When there's something in our current 3D reality that is frustrating or upsetting, it can feel like detachment is impossible. It's not. It's just a practice. Now, will it always have to feel this way to detach? No, you can detach with one simple decision. So it's when I'm using that word process, I don't want you to think that it always is one, okay? But when there's something that it feels like it's hard to get your awareness off of, then it will be when your mind is thinking of it, like when 3P pops into your mind, that will be a moment to remind yourself or bring yourself back to the present moment, to the observer, to the who you really are. Not you as, I already lost your username, but your username self, not that. No, it's coming back to the present moment as source. And to be honest, you just bringing yourself back to the present moment is going to, let's say, temporarily detach you anyway. But after doing that a few times, it will become a new habit. And your mind will do it without you having to will it to. And you will get to the point where you become unbothered to that. Well, I guess unbothered is a good explanation. You will stop being triggered if you're currently being triggered by it, and it will become easier and easier for you to get your awareness off of it. And therefore, that 3P will float on out of your reality. But try not to bring your focus back to like, oh my God, I'm thinking of her again or him again. I'm thinking of it again. Oh my God, this is going to take forever. No, it's not. All time is now. Come back to the present moment. Okay? Don't get frustrated with yourself, right? You don't control the thoughts that pop in your mind. They're not your fault. They're just options. It's just what you do with them. That's where your job comes in. What you do with thoughts. Meaning, am I believing them as true? Am I letting them rule me? Am I letting them decide for me who I am? No, we're not. Come back to the present moment. Okay? Can I just bring the thought back to me and my SP being together? Yes. And at the same time, yes, that's fine. But if that ever becomes like exhausting, forcing yourself to think something, I'm just saying. Oh, if anything starts to feel exhausting, take a fucking break. Take a break in general. Like as in this whole idea of you manifesting or trying to get third party out of your awareness. Fucking dump it all together for just a few minutes. Okay? Shelve it for a few minutes just to clear your mind. Because this shouldn't feel like work. It shouldn't feel like extra baggage. This is who you really are. Okay? You are welcome. Kim saw SP for a 5-minute conversation, and I'm not standing in my God self. Why? 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 Was SP not the version of self that you prefer? Is SP running your reality? I don't care if we're having emotions and feelings right now. Let them all out, but make your decision. You know who you are choosing to be. There are no coincidences. If we had this experience, doesn't mean anything's wrong or that you're messing anything up. Return to your decision. Simple as that, even through emotions and feelings. Let them out and return. Because he didn't tell me how much he wants me. You know what you're reminding me of? You're reminding me of when I didn't get my morning text messages back in the day. If you're new to my channel, you've never heard me talk about this, in my early years, if I didn't get my good morning message, I would absolutely lose my shit. Okay? If I got a morning message and it just said, morning, I would come unglued. So if I didn't get the text, or if I got just a basic bitch morning, that would equate to me that he didn't love me anymore. You can't text me a loving message in the morning, you don't love me. You're falling out of love. I would let it control me. Not kidding. It's embarrassing, but it's the truth. I would spiral all day long over it. And then when I would finally hear from him, then I could be in a good mood. Oh my God, I'm such a good manifester. Oh my God, he just texted me. He loves me. And then the next morning we would start the cycle again. Do you see what I mean? I would let it rule me till I learned detachment. Detachment. I will not let 3D reality control me because it's my damn reflection. I'm the boss. You're the boss. As source. You are. You are. So return. Bella, they were the worst. They were the worst. Tips on manifesting being financially well off. Wait a minute. Oops, it just went away. Hold on. Tips on manifesting being financially well off, expanded by money instead of limited by it. Love you, Kim. Okay, love you too. All right, so an abundance mindset. It's focusing, number one. Let's think about, if you were living the life you wanted right now, what would that look like? What would you look like? How would you carry yourself? What do you think you would be doing day to day? And listen, even if your instinct is to say, "Oh, I don't know, because I'm not living that right now." No. You're deciding it right now. Right now, in this present moment, what you decide is your answer will be a moment you will experience. Because you've already experienced it, because all time is now. Get what I'm saying? You even wanting this desire is because you already have it. It was already meant for you, right? It's already existing. Whatever you believe is here. The universe, the ether, space-time, like Einstein says, it's there. So the more you are in or visiting, in a sense, your imagination as that version of yourself, the more natural that self becomes. The more easier, that doesn't make sense. That sounded weird. The more easier it becomes to go right there without much thought. Go right there to the version of self you want to be, where you'll start your day knowing you already are that self, living your life right now as being that self, knowing that that's who you are in here, knowing that every time you get into your imagination regarding what you want or who you want to be, that's you actually going to that reality. The imagination is the true reality. I know it doesn't always feel like that, though. I know that, but it is. So who is she? Who is the you or he? Forgot the username. He or she. Who are you as that abundant, tons of money version of yourself? How does that version of yourself see the world? How does that version of yourself see reality? And you get to make that decision and decide what all those answers are. And the more you're viewpointing from that version of yourself, the sooner this is going to change around you out here. So the more often you are of the knowing that you are that self, the quicker the experience of this reality out here reflecting exactly what you want. And listen, let's say right now you're making the decision that you are that self right now. Right now, that decision mattered. That decision was real, right? Your conscious decision to be that version of yourself is exactly the same decision-making power of God because of who you are as God, as source, whatever you believe. So your words, your thoughts, your decisions are of the same authority as God, as Christ. So think of it that way. When you're making that decision, you're automatically in that reality. The reality out here in the 3D might not look like you're in a new reality, but you are. And every single thing you experience, literally every single thing you experience, is moving you to that abundant version of yourself. Everything is a reflection of it, even when logically and literally it doesn't look that way or it doesn't feel that way. It is. But remember that, especially in the moments when you get frustrated. Remember that. Your conscious decision matters. I really believed and said it was done that we would celebrate New Year's Eve together, and it's not. Okay, Allie, how do you feel about it? How does that make you feel? Why do you think it didn't happen? What's your story about your person, and what's your story about whatever relationship you have with your person? What's the truth? And you don't have to put it here in the answers. I mean, in the comment. You don't have to answer it here. You can keep it to yourself. But what the truth is, what you think the true answer is to the questions I just asked you, is the truth of what version of self you truthfully believe you are. And I promise those aren't trick questions. And they're also not questions to chastise you or make you feel bad for what version of self you're being. I'm saying, see it authentically, who you really believe you are. What's the truth for you when it comes to love? When it comes to your specific, what do you really believe is possible with your specific person and who they are? What do you think they're really capable of? You'd be surprised at how many beliefs we have that we don't realize we have. But yet, when you get these answers, you'll see, or it'll make sense to you that yes, they were always there. That's what I'm saying. And also, okay, so you wanted this to happen, hanging out New Year's Eve with your person, and it didn't manifest. You've got two options right now. We can look at it as, this didn't work. This didn't manifest. It failed you. So give up. You got that option. Or you got the option of, hi, I'm Source and I get what I want. And what I want is to be in that relationship with that fucking person. So this is who I am. I am that self. I am the self that has the love that she or he wants. That's who I am. And yes, I'm not experiencing the New Year's Eve I decided. So I must not understand from my rational, logical side of myself, that human side of myself. I must not understand. But this is a part of me getting that relationship. I must not understand why my 3D looks this way, but it's still leading me to my outcome because it is leading you to your outcome. So you have options, right? Vadim Zeland, reality transurfing. You have two options at every point in your unfolding, in your journey, on your timeline. You have two options of which direction to go. Now, to be honest, in moments like this is where people give up and assume manifestation failed them. Don't be those people. Don't be that person. Keep going. It's the people that keep going and surrender the 3D and allow it to flow. Those are the people that end up getting exactly what they want. Remember, your perception is always telling you what you're really believing or who you really believe you are. Your perception is always there to guide you, to alert you, to let you know, okay, whoa. If I'm perceiving my reality is shit, there's my alert. That's not how I want to perceive my reality because I don't want to experience a reality that's shit. I want to perceive a reality that I get what I fucking want. That's what I want. So that's when I'm going to decide that's who I am. So my reflection must reflect that, and it will, because you're Source. Well, hello. Hello, my beautiful Kimmy. Well, hello, my beautiful D Lion spirit. Hello. The amount of very specific things I've manifested are unreal. Don't give up. Exactly. Exactly. How can I manifest getting a job, really struggling with lack mindset? Any tips? Okay. So your lack mindset, I love that you're being authentically honest. Thank you very much. That lack mindset is just a state of consciousness that you've been in the habit of returning to or staying in, dwelling in. So it's been a habit. Now you're aware that it's a habit. That's all it is. And now you're aware it's just a state. It's not a truth. It has felt like your truth because of the things you've experienced in your 3D reality. But your reality was just doing its job to reflect you. Well, now as Source, as knowing you are it in your reality, and by it, I mean the proverbial it. You're choosing a new self. You're choosing a new state. The abundant version of you. The version of you working the job, the career of your dreams. Whatever that is. or the financially abundant version of you. The version of you that's got more than enough money, multiple income streams, whatever resonates. You start telling yourself that that's who you are. Now, your logical mind might pop in and say, yeah, but you're not. You don't have the job yet, bitch. You're not that self. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're God. Everything you're experiencing is leading you to it. Everything. Even these moments where it feels like nothing's working, nothing's changing. Even the moment that you came into the awareness that you have a lack mindset was a part of the unfolding. You needed to become aware that you were resonating as that self in order to become a new self. It was a part of your unfolding. So in other words, you return to the decision that you are your abundant self. Again, use the words that feel best to you. Bring it back, no matter what your senses tell you. And stay aware of that. Meaning stay aware as the observer, as God, as source, that your human-y senses want to chirp at you. Your senses want to tell you who you are. So be aware that your senses are playing that game with you, not as a negative thing, meaning your senses are innocently trying to tell you who you are because of your conditioning to believe your senses. So stay aware of that. So you're aware that when they tell you that you are not the version of yourself that you want to be, that you now know better. You now know better as God, as source. You know that's no longer true. You know that you don't have to rely on what your senses tell you. And I'm bringing up your senses because I'm saying your sight. Your sight might tell you that you still don't have the money or you still don't have the job. You might even have that logical thinking of, yeah, but Kim, that's the reality. I don't have it. Yes, you do. You wouldn't even have come across this live stream if this wasn't a part of your unfolding. For you to ask the question, right? Look at this orchestration. You came to this live stream. You took the time to put it in the comments. Well, that orchestration, right? Look at me being a part of your orchestration. I had to notice your comment, your question, to be able to answer it because you're here to take that advice. And it's really, you manifested this. You manifested this experience between you and I. You manifested it. From your perspective, I'm in your reality, right? This version of me that is showing up in your reality is your reflection. So you can't be all that bad. You can't be all that bad. This sexy, sassy, saucy me, this is a good reflection to have. See? You're already starting off abundant. Things are changing for you. So continue that story, that's who you are. This new self, abundant self, a whole new life, a whole new you for 2025, right? HBICs, all we do is thrive in 2025, and that's what you're doing. Okay, all of this was a part of the orchestration of you being your abundant, very, very rich self. So continue that story. Don't be fooled by the senses. All right, my friends, this girl's got to go. Okay, it's time for some cocktails and preparation to watch the ball come down with my own SP. Okay? I hope you all have an amazing rest of your evening, an amazing Happy New Year day tomorrow. And you remember what I said. You choose to be the version of yourself that you want to be. And remember, most importantly, the number one thing is who you are as pure, unadulterated consciousness. God, universe, higher power, source energy, moonbeams. You are that. Choosing to have the human experience through the avatar or the actor or character of you. I'm choosing it as Kimberly. From there, you're choosing the version of yourself you want to be. And you can be any version of yourself. You can experience anything you want. You can also multi-manifest and have everything you want in every area of your life. That's not asking too much. It already exists. You just have to start choosing it for yourself, telling yourself that you are that self. Okay? That's manifesting from your God self. You as source. That's how to manifest as source. Deciding it for yourself. Deciding it. And if you fall out and you fall back into old shit thinking, you fucking return with the authority of source to who you are. If you don't believe your source and you're the, I just have my subconscious mind, fine. With the authority of your subconscious mind cannot hold you hostage. It's a manifestation. You manifest it every day with the rest of your physical body. Okay? It's a part of your 3D, believe it or not. So you are not bound or blocked by anything. That is a false belief. You're limitless. I call you limitless, flawless, sexy, sassy, saucy for a reason. Because you are. It's time for you to come to know yourself as that. And you're here to have joy. You're here to experience your desires. Not desires that other people approve of. No, your specific individual desires. Okay? I mean that. All right. So happy fucking New Year. And I meant what I said, as I say it every time I go live. My intention is to be here more. I like and I miss the lives. So I shall see you all very, very soon. Okay? HBICs, we thrive in 2025.